So this is a really exciting morning. I finally got my glyphosate apps down to the point where the grass is pretty much toast. I mean, I've got this thing dead. Now, in case you haven't been following me, I decided to do a little sprinkler project that we are going to get into a little bit later. But it left me with a lot of ruts, a lot of problems, so I figured I'd just go ahead and smoke the lawn and start from scratch. Now, because I'm knee deep in this project, I decided to fix a separate issue, which my concrete border edge was sinking. So I wanted to make sure that I got that all reinforced and got that done because it was causing a lot of pooling of water and stress on the lawn. And it didn't make mowing quite as enjoyable as I would hope for. If you're interested in seeing the entire project, I put a card up in the upper right-hand corner so you can check out my playlist for this year's lawn renovation. Would you look at that beautiful machine? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this beautiful face. Doing me a solid this morning.
How we doing?
Good, bro. Look at this dirt. It's dirt, real dirt. Now, I was having a really rough time getting somebody to deliver the dirt, and Adam did me a solid, so shout out to him. Now, you're all probably wondering what kind of dirt this is. Now, they call this premium topsoil. It's really just a loam. Now, loam's kind of nice in the area that I have. It's a common mixture of topsoil and sand, just about a 50-50 blend. Perfect for what I'm looking for. Now, I chose to go with topsoil over sand because in some of these areas I'm raising anywhere between 2 and 4 inches at a time. Now, if I was just going to be doing somewhere between a ½ inch to an inch, I would have chosen sand, screened at 2 millimeters or less. Okay, so next up on the list is I've got to get rid of these ruts. Now, I did a sprinkler project that we'll be revealing in the next couple of weeks. What I got to do is get through all these trenches. You can see these areas are extremely deep. They're ankle breakers. I can't leave it like this. The nice thing is I've been running the sprinklers ever since I did that eraser glyphosate treatment to kill everything off. So now a lot of this is settled. So what I'm going to do is grab the topsoil. I'm going to grab my tamper. I'm going to fill these areas up a little bit higher than normal. Then I'm going to use the tamper to even them out. Now, I'm fingers crossed that I have enough dirt left over that we can start tackling the areas along the border perimeter and getting those smoothed out and evened out as well. I ended up with 2 yards of topsoil, and now I'm just getting a little bit worried, but we're going to embrace the suck. We're going to keep working, and we're going to keep winning. Gotta embrace the suck. This is so worth it though. It's so fun on your feet. The grass is gonna be a crap. And best part is, family time does not suck. Embrace the suck.
Layers of dirt is this? And how much money did it cost?
$150.
Geez, that's a lot of money for just dirt. Making progress here.
Yeah, we are.
Making progress.
We're working hard. We're getting this done. I got all the ruts compacted. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Ginja, you've got it, but there's dirt. There's still undulations that are occurring. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Levelawn and start smoothing this out real quick. As soon as we get that done, then we're gonna move on to the next step. But as you can see, Mr. Rolls Royce still unimpressed. We are making great progress. This is kind of like a butter knife, just kind of smoothing everything out. We're just smearing the top. Everything's nice. Now, the biggest problem that we have is we have a few pebbles here and there. Next stop is we're gonna start filling in these gaps along the perimeter. You still see, I still have a ton of dirt left, which is great.
We just barely started and we're almost done.
Yeah, we are, huh? Because you're big muscles.
Yeah, not inside the house. Working on it.
Man, oh man, I'm making progress. It sure doesn't feel like it. I've gone through half the topsoil, so I started out with 2 yards. I figure I wanted about 1 inch or 2 inches over the entire 1,500 square feet, so that's why I bought 2 yards. So far, it's working out. I have this area leveled out pretty good. You'll notice I have a couple of wet spots here, right there and right there. Now, I like to wet it down because it's gonna show me what reality is. It's going to sink. So I use the tamper, lightly hit it. I'm not gonna spend all day with the tamper because you could do that to your blue in the face, and the bottom line is if it's dry, it's not going to compact. So now that I have my tell signs, drop a little bit of dirt there, but you'll notice this actually came out pretty seamless. So really, really happy. When I started using the Levelawn, it's funny too because the Levelawn got dirt right in the tracks. So my next step is to just start working on these tracks. Woo! I'm officially embracing the suck. But I'm so stoked. I mean, look at this. Okay, so it's a little rough right now. The one thing, if you're gonna copy this or do this on your own, it's never gonna be 100% perfect when you're dealing with dirt. Don't stress about that. You can always do a top dressing later on in the fall. You wanna get it about as good and even as you possibly can, but under the circumstances, the dirt's gonna dry. When you start putting the sprinklers on, it's gonna make some rifts. You're gonna have some issues. Don't stress about it. It's just grass. We could always fix it later. But for the most part, you can see I've got the areas that I leveled out along the concrete edge about as smooth as I possibly want it. Now, I've got enough water on it to last the night. And frankly, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think I went a little overboard on my obsessive compulsive disorder, but it's very level. I have a couple more steps that I'm gonna focus on tomorrow. I'm gonna give it the night, kind of settle, and just see if we have any undue dips. I don't anticipate we do because this soil, again, it's a true loam and it's got some sand in it. So it's really compact even as is. When I was running the Levelawn over it, it was really pushing the dirt exactly the way I wanted to. But one of the problems that I have is what are we gonna do with all the little pieces of gravel that didn't get sifted out? So that is what we're gonna focus on next. Here we are, day number 2, embracing the suck, and I'll tell you what. Woo! Woke up this morning, no energy. We put a lot of time in here, and again, today we've got to deal with one giant problem. That is all these little pieces of gravel. They always tell you that the topsoil is sifted and guarantee you all this stuff. And most of the time it's not true. All in all, I'm really stoked with the results that I've gotten, but we've got to address this issue. So we have a couple of options here. You can leave all the rocks. Potentially the grass isn't gonna grow through those areas very well. Not gonna feel great on the feet, so I would much rather deal with it now than have to deal with it later. So a couple of tools in the shed, right? Generally, I just grab my Sunjo and put the dethatcher cartridge on it. The only issue with that is I loan mine out. I don't have it here. I have a couple of broken ones. But all in all, what I'm gonna do is grab my outlet mower. We're gonna put on that the brush cartridge. I've been pretty happy with this, especially with sanding projects, because it's gonna help skim that top layer off and smooth it out. All right, so there's lessons to be had in everything that you do, and the lesson I'm learning is the broom is not picking up the coarse materials as well as it did the last time, but this go around I ordered from the same place, but the rock's really, really heavy. So we're gonna go back, grab the turf rake, which is the dethatcher that they call the Scarifier. It gets very confused because everybody calls things a little bit different, but it is the tine-based turf rake. So we're gonna take a step back, but what I wanna show you is we're smoothing out really, really well on the lawn. Well, on the potential lawn. It's doing what I want it to. It's just not getting quite the amount of materials out that I was hoping to. Small hassle having to change in and out the cartridges, but you have to understand now I don't have to store 3 or 4 additional machines. I don't have to have a Scarifier, I don't have to have a dethatcher, I don't have to have a sweeper and a reel mower. I get one unit that does it all, and it saves me a ton of time. I love that turf rake attachment. Is by far the most useful thing. Dare say I'm not even gonna need to go back to using the brush, and the more and more I get into the brush, it just doesn't make a lot of sense because the turf rake does it all in one. If I go back in time, probably wouldn't have bought it. I did a line here and I haven't done here. Huge difference. Now, is it perfect? No. But I've got the majority of the chunky matter off, and that's realistically what matters. So I went through here. Biggest thing side by side, I mean, look, we got a few pebbles here and here that got crushed in, but look, this big rock next door to it and all this. This is what this looked like before, or I'm sorry, this is what it looked like after, and this is what it looked like before. So all in all, you can't beat it. In this section, so right here is where the sweeper did, and this is where the turf rake did, and night and day difference. I would dare say this is much more smooth than over here. So obviously we're gonna stick to the power turf rake, as Alec would call it. Really happy with this, and it's doing its job very well. Now, just as a friendly reminder for all you guys out there, you don't have to spend $2,400 on an outlet. You can just go out, get the Sunjo dethatcher and Scarifier, set it to the 0 position with the dethatcher on it, and it'll do a very similar job to what I'm doing. Now, the only thing you're not going to get out of it is the weight and the roller that the back of this outlet has. Well, embracing the suck sure pays off. You know when you get those giggles where you're like, oh man, that was so satisfying. Well, this is one of those times. I'm not sure how well in TV land you're going to be able to see this, but it's like a butter knife just smoothed it out. All the roughness of it is now gone between the weight of the outlet being kind of like a roller, if you will. And then you can see the grooves that the dethatcher or the turf rake cut in. Now, this is going to be perfect for the seed to fall into. So I'm going to completely leave this as is. All in all, I say it looks pretty good. Nice and smooth and even on top. Got those little ridges and prep for my seed project, which you guys will have to tune in later for. Now, a few of you guys are gonna have questions about what I'm gonna do with this dead grass. Am I gonna pull in more dirt or not? We'll see you on the next round, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up in the comments down below. Till next time, guys, this is the Pest and Lawn Ginja. We are slaying lawns. Let's go. Oh yeah, nailed it. Nicely done. Give him a thumbs up.